The ICE Futures canola market was weaker Friday morning, seeing a continuation of yesterday's retreat from nearby highs. Canola down $3 to over $5. November down $5.50 at $595.40 per ton. That move back below $600 was bearish from a chart standpoint, bringing in additional selling pressure. Chicago soy oil, European rapeseed, and Malaysian palm oil were also all weaker, contributing to the declines. Solid export demand did provide some underlying support. Canada exported just over 200,000 tons of canola in the past week, according to the latest Canadian Grain Commission data. That was down from what moved the previous week, but year-to-date exports of nearly 1.7 million tons are up by 240% compared to what moved at this time last year. However, the ongoing labor dispute on the West Coast may limit export movement going forward. The canola market will be closed this Monday for the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation. Markets in the U.S. will trade their usual hours. In the U.S. today, soybeans are higher while corn mixed and wheat lower. Updated U.S. quarterly stocks data will be released Monday, and positioning ahead of that report accounted for some of today's activity. Soybeans underpinned by dryness concerns in Brazil. The November contract, it's up 8 cents at $10.49 per bushel. Drought in Brazil has slowed seeding of the next soybean crop there, but there is still plenty of time and forecasts are calling for more moisture over the next few weeks. The USDA announced private export sales this morning of 20,000 tons of soy oil to South Korea. Hurricane Helene is bringing welcome rain to the dry Mississippi River Basin, but that precipitation will also lead to some harvest delays for soybeans. Corn futures trading both sides of unchanged. The December contract up 1 3/4 cents at $4.15 per bushel. Russia hiked its export duty on corn sharply higher this morning in an attempt to shore up domestic supplies as drought there is hurting production. Expectations ahead of Monday's USDA report are for large quarterly U.S. corn stocks. Wheat lower across the board. Minneapolis spring wheat down 2 cents in the December contract at $6.09 per bushel. Kansas City down 6 cents in December at $5.72 per bushel, and Chicago soft wheat down 7 cents in December at $5.77 per bushel. That's a look at the ICE futures and U.S. markets for Friday, September 27th. In Winnipeg, for MarketsFarm.com, I'm Phil Franz-Warkentin. This is the MarketsFarm.com morning show, broadcast number 79 for Friday, September 27th.
Back in 1989, Butler Farm Equipment began providing industry-leading equipment and a top-notch service. 35 years later, they're still going strong. See them for New Holland tractors, balers, skid steers, mowers, and snow removal equipment for farms, construction, oil and gas industry, as well as hobby farms and acreages. Plus, get fall savings on snow removal equipment and remaining zero-turn lawn mowers. Butler Farm Equipment, decades of delivering great service in the Peace region. Visit butlerfarmequipment.ca.
The opinions expressed on this show do not represent those of the station. If you've missed any of the shows, you can follow the podcast at Energeticcity.ca. Welcome to This Week in the Peace, a show dedicated to the people, events, and news of BC's Peace region. Here's your hosts, Dub Craig and Steve Berard.
Welcome to This Week in the Peace. Later, I'll be talking with the Mayor of Taylor about some issues the district has experienced with rail safety and last week's emergency preparedness mock exercise.
But first, the Fort St. John Film Society and the Whiskey Jack Nordic Ski Club are preparing to host the Banff Center Mountain Film Festival World Tour at the North Peace Cultural Center on October 5th. So to tell us all about this evening of films, we're joined now by Bruce Kosugi of the Fort St. John Film Society and Sarah Altena of the Whiskey Jack Nordic Ski Club. Let me get everyone's mics on. Good morning to both of you.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Doug.
All right. Well, thank you both for being here. I just got to switch cameras here now. Lots going on. Okay. Let's start with the Film Society, if you could, Bruce. And by the way, again, thank you so much for being here, wearing a different hat yet again. Bruce, tell us a bit about the Fort St. John Film Society. How long have you been around, and kind of what's your mandate, your mission?
I would say that the Film Society has been around for probably over 20 years.
Oh, okay.
I've been involved for the last maybe 5 or 6 years. But we have films that we show at the Landmark Cinema in the mall. Mm-hmm. And we just had one this last Monday. But we have them every couple weeks. And we do have brochures, and we have a Facebook page that people can go on. And we have films from the Toronto International Film Festival selection.
I see.
So they're really awesome films that typically we wouldn't bring into a small town like Fort St. John.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity for people to see something a little different and pretty exciting. We have a variety of films, from comedies to dramas and even some musicals.
I see. Is it all films that were in competition at like the most recent Toronto International Film Festival, or is it sort of that's kind of your palette you pick from and try to get to bring them here?
Absolutely. So all of these films have been in competition at the film festival, and then they go on tour. So
I see.
We ask our members to choose from a catalog of films, and then we bring in the ones that are the most popular.
I see. So it's just Toronto International Film Festivals.
Yes.
Films that you do. Do you ever reach outside of that and like, here's a classic that people should see that we want to bring as well? Or
Well, we haven't done that, but we are looking at maybe some local filmmakers in the future. So
very cool.
we have some really talented people in this community.
Yeah. And I guess to you then, Sarah, with the Whiskey Jack Nordic Ski Club, a quick, it's kind of in the name, but tell us a bit about what you do at the ski club, what your mandate is.
What is our mandate? Our mandate is to have fun in winter. And we do that really well. That's what we do at our club. Yeah. Winter can be a really long and lonely time for a lot of people, and getting connected out into an activity and a community of people who are enjoying the same thing as you is a really powerful opportunity. So whether that's with the Film Society or with the ski club or through the Arts Council, the city puts on all kinds of amazing events, right? Yeah. It's just so important to stay connected. And the bonus of cross-country skiing is that it's a great physical activity to pass the winter.
Absolutely.
So we run children's lessons programs, and we have adult lessons by request. We kind of slot people in when there's enough people to run a class. Mm-hmm. We do all kinds of things, actually. We've got a new lodge that we just opened last year, and that's been great success for our club, for building community, and it's available for rentals too. So we've got our early bird registration open for memberships right now until October 15th. It's about $120 all in to be a member for the year. Mm-hmm. So we just do all kinds of fun things.
Yeah, and I mean this. Now that I understand this collaboration more, it's sort of interesting that you've come together to do this. So I mean, either of you, tell me about that sort of, making this Banff Center Mountain Film Festival World Tour. Having them stop here in Fort St. John must be a big deal. How did that come together? How did this come about?
So there's a big shout out to Erin Griffiths, who was the manager for arts and culture with the city.
Yeah.
So she has been working behind the scenes for the last few years to try to bring this festival to Fort St. John. Mm-hmm. And it is actually a fundraiser for both the Film Society and the Whiskey Jack Nordic Ski Club. So that's how we got involved. And now that Erin has moved on to her new role, we are working primarily with Victoria in the city and Oliver at the Cultural Center. Those are our main partners to put on this event on October the 5th at 7:30.
And what's kind of I when I first heard about it, I was a little surprised it was one evening. So it must be short films that are being screened kind of during this, right?
That's right. So the films range from about 5 minutes to 30 minutes. So the evening will run about an hour and a half, 2.5 hours of various videos, and they're pretty exciting. There's mountain climbing, there's skiing, there's rafting. So a wide variety of nature, adventure, mountain, and lake type of films. And they're from all over the world.
Okay.
So we have filmmakers from Canada, the US, Britain, I think Chile. So these are people who have entered the Banff Mountain Film Festival competition. So, and this film festival, this world tour, happens internationally. So in Australia, Britain, across Europe, down in the US, South America.
There was a comment on our Instagram post about the film festival from a man in Scotland, and he was like, "Good for you guys! I've got my tickets for 2 weeks later in his community." He's watching the same films in his community. So we did bring you guys a poster. They're up all over town, and there's some great information on there. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting time. We've got an amazing local MC as well. Becky Grimsrud is our MC.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's very adventurous. She used to be the president of the ski club. Yeah, so we can't wait to, it's just going to be such a great night. Yeah.
Yeah, and as you said, again, a fundraiser for both of your sort of society, your nonprofit societies. So, what does it mean to be able to bring this to Fort St? Because as far as I know, has this happened before where they brought this film festival here? So what does that mean to both of your kind of societies, that something that's really internationally recognized and, as you say, goes on tour throughout the world and has films from all over the world competing in it? What does it mean that it's coming to Fort St. John? What does it mean to you?
Well, from the ski side, with the winters changing and things being a little bit different, snowfall is not as predictable as before.
Yeah.
We're just looking for a lot of opportunities to have events that people can stay engaged in their outdoor interests and hobbies. And I think that this was just like a no-brainer for us to jump on board when it became available. I think Bruce did a lot of that work, and the Film Society has done that too. So,
And from the Film Society point of view, it's another opportunity to bring in a different type of film programming to this community. And I know a lot of people are quite excited about outdoor adventure and scenery. And we have some of the best in the world in this film festival.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're a person like me who'd rather watch outdoor scenery than experience it, this is right up your alley.
okay, Dub. Well, then tickets are $25.
Yeah, so speaking of that, you can get tickets $25 where, I suppose, at the box office? At
That's
the
right.
Northeast
Yeah, the
Center?
Cultural Center. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, that's
perfect.
right.
And then again, it's acting as a fundraiser for both your societies. It's going to be a wonderful evening of films. Anything either of you would like to say before we wrap this up?
I would say that this is a great opportunity for people to see something new. I know that some people travel to see these films, and it's a great opportunity to start a tradition within Fort St. John to bring these to people here.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you both for coming by to talk about this, and I hope you have a sold out and wonderful evening ahead of you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
You're very welcome. Again, that's Bruce Kosugi from the Fort St. John Film Society and Sarah Altena from the Whiskey Jack Nordic Ski Club. We'll be right back with Steve's conversation with Taylor Mayor Brent Taillefer on This Week in the Piece.
Get the equipment and trucks you need at Ritchie Brothers' next Grand Prairie Unreserved Auction on October the 1st to the 3rd. Choose from over 1,800 items, including a selection of forestry equipment, dozers, semi-trucks, and more. Don't miss Ritchie Brothers' 3-day Grand Prairie Unreserved Auction on October the 1st to the 3rd. Register for free and get ready to bid online. For more details, visit rbauction.com.
The house was freezing, right? So the missus calls North Prime Supply, and they asked if it was her inducer, igniter, or her blower. And I says, pardon? I go down there to tell him what's what. But then Aaron had the part right here, the champ.
On 100th Ave in Fort St. John and at northprimesupplies.com.
The Fort St. John Métis Society Bingo is back again this Tuesday at 7 p.m. We'll be playing 4 games again this week: a line in any direction, the Big X, a big picture frame, and a blackout jackpot worth $1,000. Grab your blue cards for just $5 at the Fort St. John Métis Society office, located behind Canadian Grind, or at Scoop Clothing, 9935 100th Avenue. Don't miss out. Tune in every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on moosefm.ca/bingo for your chance to win big with the Fort St. John Métis Society Weekly Bingo. BC Gaming License 153829. 19 plus only. Know your limit. Play within it.
Moose Country weather.
Today you can expect cloudy skies, a high of 11 degrees. It's going to rain throughout the morning into the afternoon. Later tonight, 5 degrees, and tomorrow the sun is going to come out with a high of 13. Sunday, high of 8, and a mix of sun and cloud.
You can watch this show live on Facebook. Catch the replays at Energeticcity.ca or be part of the show by texting your thoughts to the Fort City Chrysler line at 250-787-2222.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Steve Berard. This week is National Rail Safety Week across almost all of Canada, but one of the communities that elected not to proclaim Rail Safety Week was the District of Taylor, citing some long-standing safety issues surrounding their rail crossings. To tell me a bit about that, plus walk me through last week's emergency preparedness mock exercise, I spoke yesterday with Mayor Brent Taillefer. First of all, Mayor Taillefer, thank you so much for making the time today to come talk with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Glad to be here.
To start, let's talk a little bit. We're here to talk about some of the issues that you guys have been having with CN Rail and the rail tracks here in Taylor. I saw that you guys didn't proclaim Rail Safety Week. Tell me a little bit about why. I saw that you guys didn't proclaim Rail Safety Week. Tell me a little bit about why. First of all, Mayor Taillefer, thank you so much for making the time today to come talk with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Glad to be here.
To start, let's talk a little bit. We're here to talk about some of the issues that you guys have been having with CN Rail and the rail tracks here in Taylor. I saw that you guys didn't proclaim Rail Safety Week. Tell me a little bit about why.
Well, one of the reasons, Steve, that we decided to, and it wasn't a decision lightly, because we wholeheartedly believe in rail safety and in the importance of it. Just the given time with CN asking us to proclaim that National Railways Safety Week, we felt like we just haven't been heard. We've asked and we have got some responses, but it's been delayed in what they're doing. In our crossing in Taylor, if you've been across it, we had it repaired. This was back in June, I believe, when they repaired it. And when it was repaired, it was probably, worse than it was before it was repaired. And previous to that, there was, like the railway ties, there was wood in there, and they put asphalt in now, and they were popping up on the highway. It's, we've had this crossing, which has been a problem for years now. Mm-hmm. There's been somewhat fixes to it, but nothing that's been done that has been a good permanent fix. So, we just want the message to get out there. Like, this is important to us. It's important to our region and our community. And we feel the safety, if not repaired, there's the potential for an incident there, and it's not being repaired. On their side, they have had some trouble with the getting someone to come in and repair it, I guess. But again, it's a safety issue. So we would hope that would be prioritized and be looked at and taken care of.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. For people like me, the last time I drove over the crossing was, I think, in May. For people who haven't seen the state of it right now, tell me a little bit about some of the safety issues you guys are experiencing right now.
So some of the issues that we experience now is people slowing right down is one thing, and other people not realizing maybe why, or even coming to almost a stop. People going far right. So if you're coming from the south to the north, it would look like that person's going to turn off into Taylor, and then they cut back in, because what they're doing is they're going way far right to try to avoid the worst part of the tracks. as well as we're seeing debris. Yesterday, I saw a hubcap laying on the highway there. We've seen dirt and mud that's been dropping off there. And in the winter, one of the things that we see when the tracks are the roughest is that built up ice that you get on vehicles that knocks off when you hit something hard. And it's a danger.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And you've said that CN Rail has been having a hard time getting someone to come out and repair.
All right, we apologize. We're having some technical difficulties, apparently, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on This Week in the Piece.
Join us again next Friday morning at 10.
A full synthetic oil change for only $79.99? Now that's a great Canadian oil change. For limited time only, get a Valvoline full synthetic oil change for only $79.99 at the Great Canadian Oil Change. No appointment needed, warranty approved, and you're done in just 15 minutes. Package includes Valvoline full synthetic oil, oil filter, visual inspection, and lube job, all for just $79.99. Available now for limited time at the Great Canadian Oil Change. Convenient, trusted, expert care.
Mark your calendars. The upcoming Work BC Fort St. John Job Fair is happening on October 24th at the Pomeroy Hotel and Conference Center. Don't miss this chance to connect with skilled professionals from the local community who are eager to meet their potential employers. Whether you're looking to fill positions or expand your professional network, this event is tailored to you. To secure your spot as an exhibitor, visit fsjjobfair.ca or call us at 250-787-7100. Join us and make the most of this unique opportunity.
The Work BC Job Fair is sponsored by CN and BC Corrections.
If you're looking for a peaceful place to escape, stop into Peaceful Pages. They're pleased to offer a quiet space for you to sit and read, catch up on some work, gather with a couple of friends, or even have Bible studies. Peaceful Pages Christian Bookstore on 101 Avenue in Fort St. John.
You can watch this show live on Facebook, catch the replays at Energeticcity.ca, or be part of the show by texting your thoughts to the Fort City Chrysler line at 250-787-2222.
Hey everybody, I'm Steve Berard. Sorry for the delay, but we are now ready to continue with my interview of Mayor of Taylor, Brent Taillefer. Compare that? What does some of the correspondence between the district and CN Rail look like?
So they did, I was directly talking with CN and I was told it would be fixed. That was back in July.
Okay.
I never heard anything back. They did get a hold of staff to say they were having trouble securing a contractor or getting a contractor to come and fix it. That was the message that we got. Our message back has always consistently been it needs to be fixed.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So you guys, when you had the opportunity to, you elected to not proclaim National Rail Safety Week. That was a couple of weeks ago at council now, if I recall. What were the next steps after that? I saw that there was something about a letter being sent to CN Rail. Has that been sent? Have you heard back
Correct.
from CN Rail since? Tell me a bit about the next steps.
CN, they did reach out right away a day or two after we did not do the proclamation. Again, with the same, they're trying to get it fixed. It is important to them, but we just haven't seen it, right? We haven't seen the action. So
Right.
The letter has been sent specifically to that letter. I have not got a response, but there was also a letter sent by our MLA copying the minister and CN, and there was a response to that, again, saying that they're working on it and want to have a fix done.
Right, for sure. For residents who have safety concerns about that crossing, is there anything that you would say to them now that you're kind of still in this dialogue with CN Rail all these years later, all these months later, even after the repairs in June?
We will keep working on it, right? As you know, the highway is not ours.
Yeah.
We advocate for it. It's the province's highway and it's CN's crossing. So we directly have no ability to fix it. So we advocate for it and we lobby to have that fixed and both with the province and CN.
Yeah, for sure. If you've got time, I also wanted to touch on last week, you guys in the city of Taylor did a emergency preparedness mock exercise. I heard it went really well. Tell me a little bit about it from your perspective.
Yeah, I think it did go really well. And it's a full scale mock exercise. I think they're very important to us and you would immediately think it's important because of our heavy industry that we have in Taylor, but we have this highway where that crossing is that we've been talking about that runs right through the middle of our community, and there is hundreds of trucks a day that are hauling. It could be anything in them. So there's the potential for a highway incident. We have the rail through town. There's a potential for a rail incident, and we do have the heavy industry right in our community, which is a potential for incident. So we do these from time to time to gauge how well we are prepared. We have had for many, many years, since the 90s, a group called the Taylor Industrial Mutual Aid Group, which is TIMAG is what they're called.
Okay.
And they meet regularly. This is industry along with RCMP, ambulance, the municipality, all together and go over the safety of our community and emergency preparedness. So in the exercise, it was set up where, we're not sure what the exercise is going to be. Someone sets it up and it rolls out like it's an actual incident. People actually responded. We had our emergency operations center was stood up. ESS, our emergency support services, were brought in to a reception center. The school district 60 in the Taylor Elementary School partook in this, and they evacuated the school and bussed all the kids out. So it's quite a deal. And there's also observers that come in to observe what's happening and give feedback. So it's all about being prepared.
Awesome. Yeah. One of our reporters spoke with Taylor's fire chief, and they told us a little bit about some of the behind the scenes process for this. Can you walk me through? I understand it's sort of a 3-year cycle you guys do these on. Can you walk me through what that looks like behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes and setting it up?
Yeah. Like sort of what the preparation goes into running an exercise like this.
So we have someone who is tasked with setting up the whole scenario and the exercise. So they would set it up and then roll it out. So as that rolls out, then each person, like our emergency operations center, we have staffed with staff from the district. So they would go in and set that up. They're taking calls. They're assessing the situation based upon what they're getting from the responding agencies, which in this case, the Taylor Fire Rescue was the first responding agency, identified what it was. They asked for resources. The Emergency Operations Center would then relay those messages. So if it's ambulance, RCMP, CN Rail was one of them. North Peace Search and Rescue came down and was part of a tactical evacuation of a quadrant of our municipality. The in TIMAG Industrial Partners were notified. Mm-hmm. Residents of Taylor were notified. PRRD was notified. And each person or each agency plays a part in it based upon what the request is from our Emergency Operations Center.
Okay, awesome. I think we're sort of getting towards near the end of our interview here. Is there anything else you want to add before we let you go? Any events that are coming up in Taylor in the next couple of weeks? If people are maybe interested after that exercise in volunteering with the Taylor Fire Department, where can they go for that? Is there anything else you want to go over?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we're always looking for volunteers in the municipality, and volunteers are the heart of our municipality, as any municipality in events or emergency preparedness. Fire department, the ESS is always looking for volunteers as well. So you can contact the district office if you're interested in volunteering in the municipality. And we have great volunteers in Taylor, and we're always looking for more as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today, Brent. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Steve.
No worries. That was Taylor Mayor Brent Taillefer. Thanks again to Bruce Kosugi and Taylor Altena for joining us earlier on This Week in the Piece, and thank you for tuning in.
You can listen to this show again by checking out the podcast at Energeticcity.ca/podcast. We'll store this in future episodes of the show there as we make them. Also, check out our other locally produced podcasts, Before the Piece and Secrets of the North as well. That's our show. I'm Dub Craig.
And I'm Steve Berard. Be well.
Join us again next Friday morning at 10 for another edition of This Week in the Piece, your weekly talk show dedicated to the people, events, and news of BC's Peace Region. Or you can listen to this podcast again at Energetic.